Hello, friends. Today, welcome to another episode of Insightful Conversations with your host, Krishna Radha. Today, the guest on my show is Ma Sambhavya Anand. Ma Sambhavya, she's just recently written two beautiful books, Awakening Now and Communion with the Nature. Um, I read those books, and we have been planning to have this interview since few months, and this seems to be the right moment for it. There are many questions in my mind. um, Sambhavya grew up in a Jewish Yemenish household in Israel, and from there, her search, right since she was young, her rebellious nature, how she always carved her own path. It's all in that book, Awakening Now. But I'm going to start asking her things that intrigued me, and I would love to know about also her flower essence that she makes and heals people, and numerous workshops that she does. So without any further delay, let's welcome Sambhavya. Hi, Sambhavya.
Hi.
Welcome. So Sambhavya, you grew up in Israel in a Jewish family with strong conditioning. I also grew up in India in an Indian family with strong conditioning. So you still live in Israel. How do you see the Israeli consciousness, especially in today's world when we see so many things, wars and stuff? How do you see the consciousness evolving?
How do you see the consciousness of what? Of Israeli
Yeah,
society?
yeah.
Okay. Well, it's growing. I can say it's growing because I've seen it since the time I was born. People are awakening. And that's why I felt like also to share my awakening process that I had with Osho all these years, because I felt like there is something that I could share with people. But in generally, there is much movement of people who wake up. Really, something is happening here.
Yeah. So glad to hear that. It's always a welcome sign when there is positive news in the world where we hear news which are usually not very encouraging. But I'm glad to see that.
Well, I can say to you that the wartime, as I see it, is strengthening us. We have to be aware here. Maybe in some other places I could sleep easily. Here, no. Many
Mhm.
people don't sleep at night, especially during the bombs happening from Iran and all that. But this is what wake us up. Actually, it's a kind of a gift, in a way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in that way, that's how I see it. It's a device for waking up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's wonderful. You said in your book that the brain is usually the dominant force in our lives and is one of that causes division and how we see duality in everything. But the real function of head is actually to help the heart. And that is why it's so important for us to go on this journey of knowing your true self, to distinguish where the head and the heart is. It seems very simple, this concept. And sometimes I've struggled myself. Like, for example, I'll tell you, I was raised in a very s- like strict vegetarian family. So I've never eaten meat or I've never been around meat. But whenever after I started living in US and I passed the meat places or restaurants, I could feel saliva in my mouth and like my body and cells. And in my mind, there was like nothing. I did not want to eat at all. But my body, was probably it knew from before, something like that. So how do you, like, this is a clear distinction where you listen to your mind for me. How do you and where do you like figure out which is the heart part, which is the mind part, which is the body part? It's not so clear, right, in our lives.
Hmm. Well, slowly, it's getting clearer for me what is the mind and the heart. And I try
Hmm.
to connect all of them together.
Hmm.
That what I think, what I feel, and what my body wants is one.
Mm.
Um, for example, you mentioned food. For me, I listen to my body. Sometimes I like coffee. I make myself a cup of coffee, and then suddenly my body say, "No, it's not time for coffee. It's too strong. It's not for now." Then I just put the cup aside, or I plan to eat something by my mind.
Mhm.
And by the time I open the fridge and I ask my body, "What do you like to eat?" Then suddenly it's a whole other food that coming. Maybe now I want a salad. I want something cold. And before I had an idea that I need to finish the soup from yesterday, but I don't
Mhm.
want anything warm now. You see what it's like listening to the body, and I listen to the heart, but I'm using my mind as
Mm.
well. Okay, I think it should go together, and this is my effort actually to find the center. And when I move and do things, it's from all the centers together.
Mm.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you, Sambhavya, to get here?
Many years.
Yeah.
I'm 45 years with Osho, but my investigation in started from a really young age. Um, for example, you talked about vegetarian. From young age. When I saw the meat in the kitchen of my mother, it was it was horrible for me. But somehow I had to eat it because there was a food that was served.
Yeah.
But I always felt like no, my body didn't want. Yeah.
Opposite of, I think I never felt like eating it, but I could feel like separately that my body, how it's like, I never felt the desire from the mind, but I could see my body like reacting to it. And it, at first it surprised me. I was like, wow, what is this? Do I really crave this? And then I tried eggs and I literally puked on it. I couldn't eat it because I have never eaten it. So then I figured out, oh, it's probably some conditioning from the past, and I just watch
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I tell you something. I also discovered that in a certain situation, my body needs something stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes maybe I need a fish, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It's not much, it's not happening much. But if I'm somewhere near the sea, and it's never happened really in the first or second day, but then somehow to be one with the ocean and the environment, suddenly my body said yes,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels totally okay to do it. You see, so I just listen. Or sometimes I need egg because in Israel the vegetarian has nothing to do. I eat some egg and some cheese because I need some protein, and then my body said that he needs that. And
Mm-hmm.
if it doesn't, I just eat vegetables. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I
Trying.
just listen to my body. Yeah. Maybe your
It's,
body needs something. Who knows? It's extra protein. And you find
yeah.
how you want to do
Yeah,
it.
I tried wrapping my head around that concept. It just doesn't like, the
Yeah.
desire doesn't come,
Mm.
it's probably just one center body. The heart and the mind are completely different. So I leave it at that. But there are so many things like that. We're talking about food, but in our everyday, like, sometimes the heart tells you to do something and the mind says this is completely foolish. Don't do it. You have suffered before. It's like, where do you find the balance? Like, I always struggle with that.
I'm not strict with myself.
Mm.
For example, uh, soon there will be a lot of cheesecake because we have special holiday coming.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese is not good for me unless it's goat cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But I will eat a piece of cake, and I know that it will be okay for my body. It's not going to react. I'm not strict with myself. I'm pretty much flowing with the whole thing. It's fine. Yeah. Being strict is also creating tension, and I don't need that.
Yeah, yeah, true. Samavya, you also spoke about way of tantra in your book, I think quite a bit, and you have rightfully said, and it has been my feeling too, that Osho was a very tantric guru because of the energy and the energy work that happened in his presence, and he himself emanating so much esoteric things, around him. But um, Tantra, you say, is a natural way of life, earthy, spiritual at the same time, touching all areas of life. Do you think it's possible on planet Earth, unless you find someone like Osho, or you just have to jump out of what we call the real world, like you kind of did, right? You figured your own way, you didn't really stick to a path that is prescribed in the society or by the family. Is that what is required, or someone, because integrating everything in a very natural way, I find it almost impossible. How do you see that?
Well, basically, I'm living in nature. I'm not living with my family. Um, I'm living alone. I'm teaching sometimes when people are coming to me, sometimes couples. For me, Tantra is a way of life. So when I teach somebody or a couple, I'm teaching the rule of nature, actually.
Hmm.
For me, Tantra is the rules of nature. And I'm dealing also with natural energies like healing with flower essences that I created. Usually, I'm also giving the people some flower essences to adjust their inner bodies. And I'm teaching them whatever I learned from Osho about Tantra and from my experience, yeah, how to create more harmonious way of living with myself and with the other. This is for
You,
me what Tantra is about.
what I was trying to understand is, do you have to take a leap of faith and jump out of this little boundaries that we have created in the society for to really integrate tantra way of life right now? Because the way the societies are, like, you go to school at 9 o'clock, you come back at 5, or you go to work, you come back, building, sit in there,
Mm,
um, you know go
yeah.
in the car. It's a very unnatural way of living, which most probably 99% or maybe 90% people live that way. So do you think, like, you have to take a leap of faith, tantra is for people who just kind of just drop out of the real matrix?
You don't have to drop out of the real matrix. You can take some of the Tantra ways of living and integrate into your life. For example, the basic of Tantra is meditation. So if you integrate some meditation in your life, then suddenly you start to be more watching, more aware of your body, of your breath. And if you meet the other, you will be more sensitive.
Mhm.
It just slowly you adapt it. And when I say to people, try to give yourself some time, maybe in the morning when you wake up, even if it's a few minutes, just to turn in, connect to yourself, to your breath, see what you want to do this day, have some vision for your life, and slowly go and walk slowly, no running anywhere. Take some time before, wake up. You want to start the day at 6, you wake up a little bit before and just go slowly, just slow down, for
Mhm.
example. Yeah. And
Mhm.
then in the evening, you go to sleep. Maybe you just meditate a little bit before you sleep, see what happened during the day, do, thank the day for whatever happened to you or who, just find this way. And when you make love to your beloved, just slow down and breathe together. This is like the method of Tantra, actually, how to connect with more sensitivity.
Mhm.
You can easily adapt it into your life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And it's encouraging actually to know that it's not something like you have to go off on a search in India and find Osho or some other guru, someone like him. You can. I hear what you're saying, the sensitivity part, which we kind of lose in the pace of life. Even if
Mhm.
we feel something, we overlook it and we rush through it and we will our ways through it. So I hear you. Somehow you were saying that when you were staying in Costa Rica and throughout your book, I'm also going to put your book out right now here for people so they know which one I'm talking about. Awakening Now, My Life with Osho, a
Mhm.
spiritual awakening memoir by Anand, Anand Sambhavya. Yeah. So this is the book I have been referring to whenever I'm talking about the book. Um, I really like the book, both of them, beautiful books. Especially the flower part. I don't think the one use the communion with nature. This is the second one that Sambhavya has wrote. Vibrational healing with Buddha filled flower essence. I have never heard anything like that or read anything like that. So it was mind blowing. And when I go for my walks in the evening, there are many flowers around homes and stuff. And they always make you feel so happy, right? And sometimes you look at a flower and you feel like that flower is calling out to you. And I used to think in my head, these are all my cuckoo ideas. I don't know, probably, I just feel like a affinity and attraction towards that flower. But that's about it. When I read your book, I realized there's much more to it. There's much more
Mhm.
behind that feeling that we get, when we look at flowers. And I don't know anyone who doesn't like flowers. Almost everyone loves flowers. So
Mhm.
some
Mhm.
ways they're connected, right, to it. So I was going to ask you about your commune in Costa Rica that you lived, and many other communes actually lived in Europe, and you also formed commune in Greece. You said you had a longing to live in a commune where you meet like-minded people and you share, what you have learned and this. So I want to know, like, awakened and fulfilled community with friends who live the vision, the dream, creating a new man, new humanity. Is that possible? What has been your experience after all these years? Do you think it's possible?
It's a good question. That's what I'm still asking for myself. Is it possible? I really experienced many communes in different countries, and we've been growing up slowly, slowly.
Hmm.
At the beginning, we were really like children, and slowly, slowly, we grew up in communities. I believe that now there are a little bit more mature communities than the one I was living in the 80s, like in Amsterdam or in Oregon when I was living near the ranch. And we were living in some houses, community houses, and still was a childish kind of way of communicating. And what I wish for today, that many of us already grew up in awareness, and I'm looking for people who grew up and like creating kind of a more mature community. If it's possible or not, I don't know, because many of my friends around the world living alone, just like me. But if there is any calling, I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. But also reading so much about it and watching the videos, I I feel like it's a very special thing for people to live together and yet have their space, and yet have that individual path, and then everybody understanding that seems like a very difficult thing to me. But I hope sometime in future. I especially love that Costa Rica commune experience of yours in the book. And then I went and Googled stilt houses, and there was this beautiful graphical video created about a home high up, like in the Costa Rican jungles, and open on all sides, and the streams of water. It just made me like dream for some time. Maybe someday, you could just
Yeah.
jump from the tree, get down, go for a swim in the river, and you have your friends around. If you want to hang out, if not, they leave you alone, and and you
Mhm.
meditate together. It will be wonderful. But
Many people love Costa Rica. There are many communities happening in Costa Rica.
yeah,
Um, when I was there for about a year, and we were just starting everything from the beginning. We were
yeah,
living in tent and then in casitas, and then slowly people started to bring to build their own houses. Um, I started also the Greece community in Lesbos. I was one of the people who started.
yeah,
The guy who was starting Lesbos community, Afros, was my boyfriend for 7 years. So I was really the woman beside him. So I was starting communities. So I have this experience. It was exciting. Um, Now the communities are in a different situation
yeah,
because when the community has 35 years old, like now you have some communities like this in Italy, in England, in different places.
yeah.
It's different. Okay, it's different.
Yeah. I definitely also the sustainability is a big part, like getting the finances in shape and then making sure those communities sustain, I think is a big part of, because they're very big and cooperative bases, right? So who picks up
Mm.
what part, and I think that gets messy normally. But you also spoke about how Osho used to say that we need 10,000 Buddhas in this world to transform humanity. And you said you attended in 2020 a online gathering with Deva Prema, and
Mhm.
you felt that his vision had not died. What did you see in that gathering that was so encouraging for you?
Well, it was through Zoom, but it was worldwide. There were many, many people, more than 10,000, who were part of this happening. And I know that they still go around and do the music. So
Yeah.
each of us does what we can
Hmm.
actually, and they keep on doing it, and it's very beautiful. It was very united, and I was very, very excited.
Mm.
I think now there are even more people who are awake than what Osho was saying, more than 10,000. But it's in a process. I don't know if they're all Buddhas, but at least in a higher level of consciousness, there are much more people now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're evolving. Yeah. He did his work, he prepared us,
Yeah.
and we have to take it further.
I think it's much more valuable today from what I can see. I live in Silicon Valley, which is the hub of technology. Though I'm not into technology, but I'm surrounded by it day in and day out. And I see like two different worlds because I am a Osho sannyas and I read his book. I love to be in nature more. And then I also have my friends who are completely about being on screen most of the time throughout the day, and they have to be reminded, oh, let's go touch the grass. No, it's getting too much, and let's go. And I can see how they think about robots and what they're bringing into the world and the new technologies that are being built around me. It's wonderful. I'm very happy the way we are evolving, but it's also scary, very scary, because we are giving kind of our authority to someone, not because they're going to take it, but I see more and more like I see myself, I get lazy. I if someone can do this thinking for me, the task is okay. But even thinking, if I outsource, then it's very difficult, to think for yourself, and then people can easily control you. So what you're saying is, I think it's going to be even more needed, and probably on a bigger scale in the future.
Yeah, I can tell you that I was in Silicon Valley many years ago. I was invited by a couple, a friend, and I was aware that I'm dealing with people who are dealing with computers, but the people who came to my group for my training, it was a weekend like retreat, and it was about Tantra, where I was teaching the basic ways of Tantra, and it was very good for them to balance and
Yeah.
to realize how to bring also these kind of methods of tantric meditation into their life. And also I brought the flower essences and I teach them about using the flower essences to balance themselves.
Yeah.
um, I think technology should be used in a very wise way.
Mm.
For example, now with what we have with AI and so, at the beginning I felt like I don't want to put it in my life. And by then I said, I'm not afraid because I'm the master. And if I need something, some help, I can ask him.
Yeah.
But I'm not just copy paste what he did. I'm using my mind to see if he saw me right. Is it what I wanted to write or not?
Mm.
Okay. Or if you give me a photo and I said, it's not. So I'm the master. So
Yeah.
if you remember this, there's no problem.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree with you. It's just when I think I have two kids and they're fine because they've not grown up with AI, but the younger ones, like who just came right now, for them it's like they're all the time on their iPads and they like, oh, how do you do this? And immediately the answer comes. So there is no like steps taken to get that um no meaningful work done to receive that information, and then
Hmm.
you just keep getting it and getting it and you overload it and you become like a parrot just saying what the computer says. So
You know what the solution?
mm,
Go to nature.
yes.
You have children, I understand, right?
Mm,
And take them to nature with you and be quiet and just listen to the flowers.
mm,
And in my book, you have some hints how to do that. Not
mm,
just look at the flower, look, be silent, listen,
mm,
breathe it, be with it, and be in communion with the flower, not just connection.
mm,
And if you learn to be in communion, in silence with nature, maybe you hear some things,
mm,
okay, some secrets. That's what I do. I open up to listen to the secret of the flowers. And this is how I created my Buddha filled flower essences while I was in India in the master garden, because the flowers were really, really powerful in his garden. The aura was so big, and I could just sit there and I could feel and hear
mm,
how they can help us to be more tuned with nature. So if we take balance using nature
mhm.
and then go to technology and then again just find this balance.
Yeah.
It's this is what life is about. Meditate with the flowers, with the trees. And
Yeah.
don't talk about your bank account while walking in nature. Okay, that's what I hear many people doing that.
Yeah.
Forget about it. This you can talk in a restaurant or coffee, on a cup of coffee. But when you go to nature, be silent. Walk, listen, smell, touch. And this is a tantric way as well.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Beautiful it is. Yeah. I don't know. I somehow feel like having lived in India and there's no nature in the cities, A. Even in America, like in the cities, you don't really have Korega Park was an exception, but if you go to like Bombay and there's too many people and there is really so much chaos.
Mhm.
Even in America, I feel like there are parks that you have to exclusively go to. Like you have to drive for half an hour, 1 hour, and it's not like during lunchtime you walk outside and there's these beautiful trees. I
Mhm.
think someday if we figure this balance out, it's gonna be beautiful. Beautiful to just walk out and get our feet, calm the mind, then come back. And I think it also increases your work output, like how you think. It makes it different, the quality becomes different.
Mm-hmm. You know why I started my work with flower essences?
Mm,
I started with the Bach flower essences, the English Dr.
mm,
Bach. Many people knows him,
mm,
like 40 years ago. When I discovered these flower essences, I discovered the energies, the healing power that came from these bottles. I could really feel them. And this opened for me a whole another world.
mm,
And, um, and then I understood how it's important to prepare flower essences so people from the city could have these bottles and they can meditate with them,
mm,
they can drink the essences, and then sit meditating and let the vibration of the flowers just make you more relaxed, more balanced, your nervous system more balanced, your awareness expanding. Okay. This way, by the way, what you see here,
mhm,
this is also flower essences. I made jewelry. There are 7 flower essences from the Buddha field flowers. Okay. It's very powerful.
mm,
And I created different kind of formulas, for example, for relaxation or for traveling. This is for creativity, to keep on being creative every day, because for me it's very, very important.
mm,
Okay.
mm.
When I'm creative, I can go beyond all situation, war situation or whatever, and just keep on living my life. This is my secret, actually.
Yeah.
People are afraid and traveling. I just sit with the flowers and just breathe it in and relax. And whatever bombs are going about above me, it's still okay. And that's what how I can help people around me by being just more relaxed and giving them flower essences and help them.
I
Okay,
think it's a great idea if you are not in a very nature endowed place, or if you live in the hustle and bustle. This is a great solution. You just take the essence and then whatever works for you, you
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
So
And like you can have all the you can have the flower essences. Like the Buddha field flowers has 33 flower essences. They're all different energies, and you can learn how to read your energy. Or I can also help people even far away. I already did it many times. I can read the aura of the person. I can send the flower essences, and there are ways to do it. Or I
you
use
can do it
cards.
online too. You can do it online.
Online, I can do it online. I can read people energy and then send the bottle. That's also possible. Or I have cards. I created 33 flower cards from the Buddha field flowers, which are very beautiful too.
Hmm.
I wish I had it here to show you. And
I have the pictures.
you have the picture?
I think I don't know, but
Yeah,
I
this is a symbol. Yeah,
the symbol. Yeah,
The logo.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll get the picture. I have it on my computer. I'll get it.
Yeah. So the beautiful flowers, like the 3 different lotuses, who really help us meditation. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like the pink lotus helps to the heart. The white one helps to open all the chakras and creating kind of alignment. And or the purple one open the third eye. I mean, every flower has its own purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever person need. So I can read also with the cards. Okay, I can read the person and find which flower card and work from far away with the energy of the cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is what you were talking about.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Exactly. You see here all the 33 flowers.
Yeah.
Okay. All different ones. Like there are some tantric flowers, like the hibiscus, for example, the
Mm.
red hibiscus, the white hibiscus, papaya, mango, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
women, for men, you have the pomegranate for women, you had the sunflower for male energy. There are many, many different flowers. Yeah.
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 Sambhavya, you said you when you first saw the back flowers, you have felt there was a sensitivity in you, and you could see the auras and everything. You also have spoken about your past life experiences in your book,
Hmm.
few of them, how you remembered.
Yeah.
How did that help you in this process? Like, were you already, you had experienced this in some of your lives, or how my question is, how does remembering past life helps, and is there any one particular life that stands out for you, that progressed for you, your path?
Hmm. Hmm. Well, there are different past lives that I remember. One of them, it's not that I remember, but one channeler was telling me, and I was totally agree with her. I felt it was right. She told me that I came to this life um as after I've been like a shamanic man. This shamanic man was leaving his village to investigate in nature. When he was 50 years old, he left the village, and then happened accident, like a rock fell on him and he died. And that was my last life. And I guess that's why when I came to this life, I had a feeling that I had to remember that I had to do something. It was very, very strong for me. So from young age, I was wondering, what is it that I need to do? Something important that I had to remember. So when I was 21 and I arrived to Amsterdam for the first time, I left Israel for Amsterdam, and I met the Bach flowers, and I felt the energy of the flowers. Immediately, I remembered everything. I remember that I had to keep on investigating with nature and see how they can heal us, how can they support us. And flowers is the most refined way of the flower. Okay, we use flowers for medicine, the leaves we use for tea, but when we use the flowers is the most refined energy, and we use it for transformation, for spiritual transformation. Okay, that's why I use the flowers themselves. Yeah,
You were also a samurai. You felt the hara experience.
yeah, that
You could
also.
stand up against some injustice, and you've spoken about that in the book.
Yeah, I was a kind of samurai in Japan sometimes.
I can completely see you in that.
Yeah, it was very important what I learned then, because
Mm,
I strengthened my ahara there and
mm.
my decision, my male energy. So I lived enough my male energy. And the flowers asked me to use more and more of the feminine energy, because all women are actually flowers. So we have to discover the unique flower that we are.
Mm.
Yeah. So this life is more like discovering the femininity. That's why I also teach a lot of women groups and so. Yeah.
Was it hard for you, Sambhavya? You met many different teachers and fellow travelers on this path who you could say were enlightened, or whatever, they were on a higher evolution, like Samdarshi and Tyohar and Papaji, um, Gangaji. I think many, many more you write about them in your
Mhm.
book. You met Osho. Uh,
Mhm. I
was it
was lucky. I was really lucky. Yeah.
what was it hard for you, because as you said, you were quite steady in your male energy, but you were developing your female. Was it hard for
Mm.
you to surrender? So was that a challenge for you?
To build the ego? Is
No,
that what you mean?
surrender, because I'm pretty sure you had
To
a ego.
surrender? To surrender?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I can tell you when I came to the ashram, I didn't really want to go to the ashram, because what is that guru and I have to surrender to this? It was very strange to my mind.
Mm.
But as I walked in the ashram, I just, something in me just really fall apart. I just felt my heart so strongly. If I felt I came home, okay? So with Osho, I learned surrender slowly, slowly, and to let go. And yeah, that's what I learned from Osho. Yeah,
But it wasn't hard, right, for you? It happened very spontaneously for you.
at the beginning, yeah, but I had to jump through it. I had to put my mind aside, and but Osho presence was so strong, and his heart was so big, and we were overwhelmed by his presence, like maybe 1,000 people sitting there, and the energy was so loving. I just you cannot hold. It just your heart is opening, and the tears are dropped, and you start dancing and let go. What to say?
But when he's away and when you work in the commune and you see things that don't like, then again the mind kicks in, right? Like again you start thinking, is this right for me? Is this not right for me? What am I doing here? Was that your
Mm.
experience?
Well, when Osho just was in my heart, wherever, it doesn't matter what commune I was there. And there were all kind of people and egos happening and fighting and all kind of, childish. Was not so easy, but I stayed because I had Osho in my heart,
Mm.
and I knew that we need to go through all that, the ego thing, and stay more and more in the heart, and learn how to give and receive. Sometimes I'm talking about in my book also. So sometimes I felt like people were very selfish and not, uh, and and then I just remembered that Osho said to us, "Yeah, you learn to be first selfish and find yourself. You need first the ego, then you have something to surrender." Okay. Sometimes he was talking about the Indians that he said, well, you have to grow your ego first before you come surrender to me. It was interesting, but to the Western, he said something else. Okay. It was interesting. Yeah. So we had to go through it
Yeah.
and to grow up and to learn slowly, slowly, not to be just selfish. When you know yourself, then you start giving. And I think this is where we are at the moment.
Mm.
We just need to give and give and give and see how much you receive when you give.
Mm.
We are in another path at the moment. We're another level of awareness. So if I'm looking for people that I would like to live with, is I would like to live with people who are matured already. They're not egoists anymore. They're not thinking what I'm going to get, but
Mm.
what I'm going to give when I'm with some other people or with my beloved or in commune. What can I give? What are my gifts? So if I'm going to go around now, and I'm planning to do that, I'm open wherever people invite me and come around with my flowers, with myself. And the question is like, for me, it's like, what else can I give for myself? This is where I'm at. I hope that the people I will meet will be in the same situation. So we will have such an abundance. Everybody will give his gift and we can just celebrate.
That sounds so wonderful.
Mm.
The environment will be like celebration
Yeah.
everywhere. You also said there are types of therapies. One type of therapy is hitting on the rock. Like I've always felt dynamic is like that. Dynamic meditation by Osho is like hitting on a rock, and the other one is allowing the flower to open. Um, I'm very interested in this because it was very hard for me. It is still very hard for me to do dynamic. I feel very closed off when people start screaming and stuff. I did it in the beginning, but then later on, I just couldn't take
Mhm.
the and so I wanted to know more about this. What do you mean by these two types of therapies?
You mean dynamic and?
Dynamic, say dynamic is a kind of therapy, and the other soft one, you give me an example. Which one would you think is a soft opening? I know your
Well,
flower one is very soft. That seems very soft.
Osho told us something very interesting about therapy. He said there are two kinds of therapies. One is hammer on the rock for some people who really need to wake up. So they need some strong therapy. Something maybe if they have a lot of anger, dynamic meditation could be good, or shouting, or whatever, releasing. But he said never on the other. That's why he preferred that we do it in dynamic meditation. Everybody does with himself or alone. I actually preferred usually to do it even alone, even more than with these thousands of people together, because then I really felt free and I could shout whatever I wanted, and it was very good. Okay, so this is one way when you need to release. But on the other hand, what was fitting me more actually, after all, is the flower therapy that I was giving to myself and start to share with others.
Mm.
Okay, it's a very fine way of helping yourself to be more tuned with the existence. Yeah.
So it's basically like the hard.
Okay. But there's some type of people who more need this more on this, and you just have to feel
Yeah.
what is for you.
And I
Yeah.
think it's also the timing. Sometimes some clearing needs to be done through hard ones, and then once the clearing is there, you probably gravitate towards the
Yeah.
softer ones. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. I also needed to do some harder stuff at the beginning, and then my nature was to work with my heart and more gentle energies. Yeah.
So Sambhavya, you on your so many different travel journeys and the adventures that you had, you met two very interesting people, and you write about them in the book, Samdarshi and Tyohar. And they were how they were opposite. Samdarshi's way was to meditate and silence, whereas Tyohar used to have these trance parties, moonlight trance parties, where he used to give psychedelics around completely different ways. And they sometimes had it side by side, right, in the similar area. Uh, how do you see these enlightened? I don't know if they were enlightened. Do you see them as enlightened people first? Did you feel that?
Well, I think enlightenment is could be in different ways because we're all different. And for me, Samdati was a meditation and quiet, and this was his way. And I felt like Chua was more like a heart, like. But finally, in me, I found the combination of both meditation and love. Okay, and I'm not using any drugs. I never use drugs. I use meditation, and I love dancing, and I love to open my heart in natural way. Um, so finally, I found my own way. You see, so I learn from both, but I find the balance
Yeah.
within myself, what's fit me. Yeah.
But predominantly you say your path is off meditation, right? That's how you see yourself. I probably compassion and love as like a flowering of it, but your path has been of meditation.
Love and meditation, both,
Both.
both.
Okay.
I'm Anand, Anand bliss. So it's actually my path is the path of bliss. The meaning of my name,
Yeah.
Sambhavya is
Possibility.
possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they told me always in India.
Yeah.
When I say Sambhavya, and
Yeah.
what they said to me, the Indians? Possibilities.
Yeah.
That's how
It
they
does
do.
mean possibilities.
So I take it like an endless potential, endless possibilities for bliss. Okay,
Mm.
so I follow the bliss, and my feeling is the bliss is a combination, the love and meditation. That's
Okay.
how I experience it.
But if I have
Okay.
to ask you, like, do you like dancing more or do you like like being alone? Say in the mountains more. What would you prefer?
Both.
Both. Okay.
I love to do that. I love to balance it.
Okay.
Yeah. I love dancing because my body love dancing. For me, it's, yeah, I follow my body, I listen to the body. This is also the tantric way. Okay. And on the other hand, I love being silent. I love to be alone a lot, very, very important for me. And also love to be with people.
Hmm.
I'm pretty much balanced about that. I cannot be only with people, only in celebration, parties, and all that, and only alone in my room. It doesn't work for me. I really need to balance. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm somewhat like that. Like I need a lot of time with myself, but after a point I'm like, I need my people. Where are they? I need to, because I think when you're alone, you become so happy that you want to share it. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you see enlightenment as? What is it? How do you, for yourself, like how do you see it?
How do I see it for myself? It's about being present, I think. That's the first thing I would say. And yeah, number one, being present, actually. With all these difficulties that coming sometimes in life, keep on being present, being relaxed, watching, letting the story happen, less identified with the drama of life. And there will always be some dramas happening. And I can say the more you are watching, the less you identify with the drama, less dramas you have in life. Okay, it's somehow life gives you less drama. That's what I saw.
I also wanted to know, Sambhavya, about this. You went to Himalayas in the Samdarshi ashram and you used to go on long walks and by yourself. And you said something very interesting. You said, the Himalayas gave me a very long lasting gift of silence behind the silence. What does it mean?
Wow, it was like walking and see all around snowy mountain and quiet and nature and trees, and I'm just walking there, and the silence of the mountain just penetrated me so deeply. So it became like one with me.
Mm,
It's like maybe I would say communion.
mm,
Because sometimes we see the mountain, you see, we say, beautiful.
mhm.
But it's beyond just saying, beautiful. Usually when we say, beautiful, we already,
Yeah.
me
Made
and
of
them.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, separation. But when you breathe it in and you just vibrate with them, suddenly you are the mountain, you are the silence. And it penetrates so deep day after day after day. Then suddenly something in me knew what does it mean? The silence, not my private silence, it's the silence of the universe. What does it mean, silence? It's not the silence of the mind.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like, what to say? So I never lost it actually. It's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with me.
I'm feeling so jealous right now because Himalayas have a very special place for me. I was in my high school when I went there on a hiking um, trip with a big group. But we used to break down and we were there for 21 days just walking to a glacier and like with all our stuff and sleeping bags and things. And I used to meet a lot of Israeli people actually on the path because they used to come after their training, the military training and stuff. So this was way back, probably like 30 years back or something. And I had fallen in love with those mountains. It was just pure bliss. When I was leaving that place, one day I remember going to the stream, and I was crying. I was just like, I don't want to leave this place. And I was promising the mountains around, like me in my stupid teenage years, like, I will come back to you. Don't, like, I will always come back to you. And when I came home, my parents were so happy to see me, and I was crying. And I said, I don't want to be here. I want to go back.
Mm.
And they were like, what? And they took it as like, oh, you don't love us. It's like, no, I just, uh, but that was just, I think, emotional and stuff. And the reason I'm jealous is because you really felt those mountains, right? You felt the silence, and that was probably
Mhm.
what was drawing me. And I've never had the opportunity again to go back. So I wish I can go and do that. And
Yeah, there's a way to go to the Himalayas. Actually, I never did a trek.
okay.
I never felt like doing a trekking with a heavy thing, and it's
Yeah.
not my thing. But I did go to the ashram of Sandashi because we had the freedom just to live around. And if I wanted, I could meditate with the guys. And if I didn't want, I'd just go for a walk. And it felt like I have some protection,
Mm-hmm.
but I did my path alone. It was very important when I walk, as I said to you, not talk about stupid things with people who walk with me and blah, 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 blah. People like to do gibberish while walking.
Yeah.
That's not the thing. So go alone, and really go alone. Maybe find some quiet ashram where you just feel like good that there are some people around, like
You feel
protection.
safe,
But
and
go alone, go alone, go alone,
I,
take your
I
own.
I hear you what you're saying, because accidentally I got lost, and I had to, like, for almost 5-6 hours I had to hike alone, and I thought I'd be scared, which I was a little bit, because it's like humongous and it's so quiet. And so first, I think an hour I was very scared, and after that I loved it. I was like, this is beautiful. So I hear what you're saying.
It's easy to get lost in the Himalayas. That's why I say it's good to have some, when you go somewhere, you tell people, well, I go,
Yeah,
just that you know.
yeah,
Things like that. But you have to be in straight connection with the mountain, with the nature. No mind of other people, because people are very noisy. You have your own, it's enough. You don't need another few.
yeah.
So it's help if you're alone. Yeah.
I can hear you. And Himalayas, I don't know. I've been to so many national parks after that, and they're all beautiful. Yosemite, Zion, and so many in Canada. But Himalayas is something, I don't know. I've always fallen, like, I there's something special there. Something special there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So you were talking. I love this chapter in your book where you're talking about meeting the parents. Um, And there were some really pearls of wisdom in that chapter I could relate so much of, because having seen your parents' marriage, which has lasted so long, and going through those similar cycles. So Osho had said that the bond of love begins and ends with our parents. It completes the cycle.
Mhm.
And if somewhere it's interrupted, your whole being is left with an uncomfortable feeling.
Mhm.
That's a quote from your book that you've used, Osho's quote.
Yeah.
Do you think that cycle ever completes? Is it complete for you?
Pretty much. I think like 99%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I started my book about my childhood and my parents, and people know exactly where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
But I had to leave them, and I left when I was 21 to find my own way. They never liked it. I went against all society ideas, and I just did my own. Okay, of course, they didn't like it, but I did my own. So I was away from my country and from my parents for 25 years,
Hmm.
apart from little, just very small visits, like, and it was very important, the visits also, because then they were like a mirror for me to see where I'm still touched by them, where I didn't do the work yet, where I didn't let go yet. It was very important. I even called it my small therapy, primal therapy. Every time I went, even for a few days, okay, now I know where I am. Okay, now I go back, keep on working, letting go.
Yeah.
And when finally I came back after 25 years, at the beginning was a shock for me and for them. Who is that person? Because I was really different
Yeah.
after the Himalaya, especially, who is that person? Who is she? And she called herself Sambhavya. Okay. And after some times, we just learn to accept and love each other the way we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they accepted me and I accepted them. I accept them. Um, I didn't have to go their way. It's totally okay. I could be myself. So it's relaxed with them. There's no problem. My father is not alive anymore, and my mother is alive, and I go and visit her, and she loves that I come to her. She's more attached than me. I don't have this, but I go for her especially just because she needs still to be
Yeah.
with me in her last years, who knows how long. So I do it mostly for her because for me, I completed actually. I don't need. Okay. So that's where I am with
Yeah.
that.
The reason I asked you this question and coming from you, I is because it's not you, all of us. No matter what kind of childhood we have had, there are always spaces and voids and things which never complete in a family. That's how it's supposed to be, I think. And I think every family is kind of dysfunctional at some level or the other, like whatever I've seen, the parents always want to, the intentions are good, they want their kids to be safe or whatever, but they always want to put them in a safe structured path which they have known and things like that, and that's it's always a struggle. So when I read this quote, I was like, wow, is there ever a completion ever for anyone in this? It seems, unless you become this very big heart and you understand everything and you accept where they're coming from, how um, they probably that's the only way I see of completion.
Yeah. Love and compassion, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And respect. Yeah. And when you respect your parents, you respect also your beloved one, for example. Unless you learn to respect them, it's very difficult to respect others. So it's really respect wherever they are. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't try to change them. It's okay. That's their way. And respect yourself. So doing your own way, of course.
So almost you could say like 25 years you were working on this and then when you come back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now it's already 45 years altogether because I'm in Israel now 21 years. I'm in Israel since I came back. I lived in the city for 10 years, in big city, the Tel Aviv. And it was important for me to, because I was teaching there a lot, and it was important to me to be there and see what Israel is about.
Yeah.
And after 10 years, I couldn't anymore. I really had to go and live in the mountains, in the north of Israel, in nature, quiet. And I'm working much less, but I'm also more relaxed. I don't have to work so much, and then it's okay. I'm living in nature, in a natural, these all mountains, it's like wild mountains around me. And since I'm here, I don't really have to go to the Himalayas anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, something in me just relax. Yeah. I don't know. Actually, I don't need to go anywhere. That's what I'm checking now. Sometimes I might say, "Well, I go there, there." No, no. I will travel, but it's not out of the same kind of need like I had before.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
You also met Dolano. And you have a chapter in your book which says the last satsang. You say
Mhm.
in that chapter that you realized in the process that my own need to search was over. I switched to the found mode and irreversible state that prolongs to this very date when you were around her and with her. Can you tell us what happened and what was this irreversible state of being?
Well, with Solano, it was very interesting because she worked especially with older sannyasin, people who already did most of the cleansing. And some little things were, some attachment were there. And she had the way of catching it. And so she knew exactly what to tell each participant where they are still stuck. So she really showed it to me. And at this moment, I knew, and something happened, shifted. It was very good. She was a help. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the radical Zen master.
Yeah, she called herself like that. Yeah.
uh, y- you have been on your own since you were probably 17, 18. You've managed your own finances, you have traveled by your own, and you've lived on your own terms. You talk about some financial strategies is not a right word because it's really psychological how you look at money and the rules you follow. Can you tell a little bit about that?
Yeah. That's actually, this chapter is quite important for many people who are
Yeah.
struggling with survival.
And it's
Actually,
also in the sannyas community, I've seen like some people do very well, some are just completely unable to fit in back. So it's an important one. Yeah.
yeah, we all need grounding. We need to take care of our survival, and Osho was all for that. That's why he told us always go make money and then come back to the ashram and go again and come back. And it was very, very good. That's what I did at the first years. I went to Europe, I created my own money. So it was very, very important. For Osho, Zorba and the Buddha needs to be connected. We need to be balanced, okay? And I took care that I always have money to what I need. I'm a simple person, but I like to eat well, quality food, and I need my shelter, my roof. That's all I need, basically, and my traveling money. And somehow I always manage to do that. I don't know. It's like, when I was traveling, I created my own work while traveling. I was treating people, creating groups like teaching, um, whatever. It's
I
like
think that's the
always.
important thing you touch in the book is the feeling of abundance. You never thought that resources are scarce, and you never thought you will not be able to manage or figure out ways to. So that was your psychological state of being.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Something in me knew that it's okay. There's one chapter that I called it. I call this chapter about money management. I call it about. There is a sentence people say. I don't know if it's English or not, but at least in my language, you say, "Money is not growing on the trees. You have to work hard." That
Hmm.
was the teaching we got. Okay, we have to work hard. Money is not growing on the trees.
Yeah. Even
So,
Indians say that a
so
lot.
my title is Money is Growing on the Trees.
Mm.
Because how do I create my money? I created flower essences, healing people, and that's how I managed to pay my basic. And I don't have big ideas. I don't need any big. I don't know nothing. I'm a very simple person,
Yeah. And yet
and
you managed to start few communes on the way and also fund your own travels wherever you wanted to go. And
Yeah.
do workshops. So yeah.
Yeah, people invited me, and like in Japan, for example, it was so beautiful. I was 3 times there. I really for about a month each time, and the Japanese was so beautiful, and I trusted them totally. I had to work there. In Japan, you have to work in that 1 month, but then just lovingly give me an envelope with money, and this has really covered my traveling for the next few years. Yeah,
As you
just
get older, do you worry a little bit about this, because our physical capabilities reduce about moving or whatever? So does that worry you a little bit now, or you still think the same kind of safe and love around you?
in my age, we get a social security
Okay.
already.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay for transportation. At least in Israel, it's like this:
Yeah.
free transportation. I get from the government certain amount, and then I also allowed to work, and I do my work, but much less. Especially when I live far away in the mountain, and people say, well, it's too far. So I have less work, but it's totally okay because I feel like resting more. So I'm not worried about it at all. Like I'm getting what I need,
Hmm.
I get my support. So it's always coming that way or another.
Yeah.
So I'm quiet about it. And when I want to travel, I have some money aside. I could travel, come back. It's okay. No problem.
It's beautiful. I love
Yeah.
that chapter in your book. I think a lot of people, it will give them that inspiration not to worry about money, because the more you put your attention on that worry part, the more you have to worry then.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I have a whole list of tips about how
Yeah.
not to manage with money and how not to worry.
Yeah,
It's
they're very practical tips, which that's what I liked about it. Like, it's very practical, doable
yeah,
stuff. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not like airy fairy, which is
yeah,
good. Um,
exactly.
you lived in Osho communes, and Osho used to say that the women must unite. He put women in positions of powers. He gave them the most influential positions to run the whole communes. But most of these communes could not work. What is your understanding? How do women unite in future if they have to build a commune, manage it? What would you think would be, say, 5 things that are needed?
Well, the women were not mature yet. The women that he chose, they were too much in the male energy. The male energy drove them a bit crazy. They were not balanced. A
Mm,
whole woman is a woman who knows the male energy within and use it.
mm-hmm,
For example, samurai is a male energy and she uses it, but
mm,
she has the heart. Okay, so a woman, if she follow the heart, and she also has the center, and she move also from the male, and there is they're playing the male female within her. Yeah, so if she is in that balance, she can lead.
mm,
Okay, and she doesn't need to be the only leader. A woman, for example, she would take in some other people around her, women, men, but more balanced male and female,
mm,
and each of them has their own speciality, uniqueness. So somebody is good in computer, so she used that, and another one used for gardening, and she would actually. What happened? It was not mature yet. We don't want a woman man like.
mm,
I believe that now many people are actually evolved and they are uh, more balanced. So I hope that we'll find the right woman. That, for example, now I'm in Israel. I pray for the right woman come and take this country. And I didn't see yet. I'm looking. I said, "Wow, who gonna be?" Because we used to have a prime minister woman
mm.
long time ago. She was a good one.
Yeah.
It's Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you. Even India had a prime minister way back in 70s. She was a woman in the
yeah, yeah.
absolutely adore, like she was, you could see the leadership in her and the decisions she took from the heart. But
Yeah.
mostly what I see when I work in the corporate structures and stuff, to get anywhere there, the male qualities have to be developed because you're working with 100 men and say maybe two or three women there, and the structures and the systems put in place are about will, determination, pushing through, aggression. So unless you kind of tap into that side, which is almost all the time, you don't get anywhere. And I've seen most of the women who do make it to the top become very aggressive, even more aggressive than men. So then to relinquish that and again come back to your heart is kind of the challenge for, I think, most of the women. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not so easy, but this is the inner work we have to do. We have to do it, all
Yeah,
of us.
it's switching the context. It's like you're hardcore male, but once you go there, like you again come back to your feminine. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Also, I tell you something. Even for me, if I need to do something and use my male energy, I use it. But when I meet my beloved, I will go down to my heart.
Yeah.
I'm not going with my mind. Otherwise, there's no love.
I think
I
that's
don't want
why
two minds
yeah.
arguing.
That's why the Tantra way, which also includes body touch and the sex, is very important, especially for women, because it immediately brings you back to your senses, your body, to your heart,
Yeah,
and your. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. You have to know how to learn how to switch on and off. Use the mind when it's needed. Use the heart when it's needed. And as I told you, usually for me, it's I'm using the connection of both, plus my center in the hara. Okay,
Mm.
and using my intuition, the intuition of the heart. This is a feminine, but also using my mind.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is what we need. We all need man, woman. Doesn't matter. We need to find this balance,
Yeah. The
and then
center.
the world looks different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the sense I got from your book. Actually, it's a journey towards being in the center, in the balance. Sometimes it's the male qualities, sometimes the female qualities. Your journey has been full of like alone, managing things by yourself, and then discovering flowers and their sensitivities. And there's
Mhm.
also this chapter in your book about the love of your life, um, and it's a beautiful chapter how you both understood each other, had this frequency, even energetically everything was working. You both seem to have done the inner work. You were the trainers, actually, the in leading the inner child groups and stuff, and yet at some point there were these blocks. So I find it fascinating that we do all this, but the actual test is when real relationships come in and you get to see if that work has integrated with us or not, right? So
Mhm. Mhm.
it's a very beautiful and fascinating that you could think in your head you're this world class teacher or whatever, but when it comes to the actual facts, they show you where you are and how you're standing. So relationships kind of are very
Yeah.
important in that way. What was your experience in the whole thing?
Well, I had few major relationship, and I was growing through each of them, and I'm telling about each of them. I think it's important people can learn from these two.
Yeah.
And the last one, actually, we are good friends. We could not be together, and the reason is basically it was not so much because of me. Uh, Many people in Israel, unfortunately, have some trauma from the war, from the many, many wars. And one of the war that he was involved in
Uh-huh.
created some kind of a situation in him that he couldn't go through
Mm.
with me. He chose to be by himself, um, stick to his daughter, to his granddaughter and feel more safe like that. Uh, that was his choice, and I respected it. So I stayed by myself, but we still have much love and respect to each other. We help each other from far because we don't live nearby.
Yeah.
And whatever I need something, he will be just there, just to help me or whatever, or I help him. Yeah, it's
That,
okay.
that that chapter also showed me how beautiful these things are to show your own mirroring, but also how difficult it is. No matter how good, like it almost seemed perfectly. Like they nowadays have this term twin flames, which I don't understand, but they say twin flames. It sounded something like that. You're part of. You're like a good fitting of the like. If you see you're a circle, then these are two halves of the circle kind of thing, which I don't really get it, but I'd like to see myself as just a circle.
No, no, that's not the idea. Find yourself. It's like I used to say to people when they come to me, said, "You're not half orange, okay? Half, half. Just find the whole orange and another whole orange and just roll together.
Yeah, yeah,
Enjoy, play."
yeah.
Yeah.
So Sambhavya, we're going to end the interview, but I have a small game for you because in the last few chapters of your book, you talk about 7 layers of human pyramid and how every nation has it's like a certain organ in the body and that is especially weak or and is unique to her or him.
Mhm.
Um, so I'll ask you with a country, and since you've traveled so much, you've met so many people. If you have any insights, let me know. You've spoken about Jewish people, but I want to ask it again. How do you see the Jewish people?
Yeah, I was writing about the Jewish people because I've been observing it from really
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
um, well, the belief system as a nation that there's always somebody behind me. Okay, somebody is ready to kill me, so I have to protect myself. Okay, and the organ of the Jewish people that it's weak and we need to strengthen it is the lower back, the tail, the lower back,
Mm-hmm.
because you feel like there's always somebody behind you. So, of course, it's not only the Jewish, but it's really like something that being a victim,
Mm-hmm.
it's very strong, like being a victim.
Yeah.
But I tell you something, something very interesting happening now, because it's not totally true. I see that many people now become beyond the victim. I can see around. And if you see the Israelis coming now and they say, we'll fight like a lion, that's part of the therapy of a whole nation, that
Mm-hmm.
every individual has to do it. Actually, all around the world. It's not only for Israelis.
Mm-hmm.
So roar like a lion and say, I'm not a victim. I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking responsibility for my life. If I need to, if you come with me to come, if you want to kill me, I will be there
Mm-hmm.
to protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
And if I need, even attack. It's like, you know, like stay with your own power, be with your own dignity.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that what people don't understand that all Israel is going through this now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are going through this therapy. It's a national therapy, but it's for everybody to look at this.
Yeah.
Where am I still a victim? Where I'm not taking responsibility for my life? And say, here I am. I'm the master of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Second one I'll ask you because I'm from India. Indian. Did you see anything with the Indian people? Because you lived quite long in the communes and around that area.
Mm. Like you mean the weakness?
Yes.
The
And the
weakness.
yeah.
Wow, that's something I should think about. I never really contemplated. Uh, wow. Well, in general, India has very deep conditioning. And I see that also India is waking up. Okay, the exchange of the West and East
Hmm.
is good in many ways, but they should respect their own beauty because Indians are very, very beautiful. They have, I don't know, they have really quality of meditativeness and relax.
Mm.
Yeah. I appreciate India. India is not for nothing. I've been 15 years of my life. I was in India. So you see, I really got nourished there.
Yeah.
So don't just push away the treasure that you have, your gift.
Yeah.
It's an ancient country, it has so much secrets, the tantric secrets, and the Buddha that born in India. And wow, I mean, beautiful. But they have to learn to go beyond
Yeah.
the tradition that all kind of rituals and things that doesn't come from a real place,
Mhm.
which is more like imitation of generation. And
Yeah.
yeah, just see where is right for you to do. Prayer, find your own way of prayer, of thankfulness. I don't know. You can let go of
The conditioning
tradition
and go to the real.
doesn't fit
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that's what I did with my own religion, the Jewish religion. I just say, okay, what is your prayer?
Yeah.
And I tell you something about my father. When I came back, and I kind of half joking with my father, I said, "Ah, you go to the synagogue. Would you like to pray for me too?" And he was laughing, and he said, "No, no, you pray your own way." The moment he said it, I knew
Mm.
that he respect me
Mm.
and respect me the way I am. It was so beautiful to hear that.
Mm.
You know, you just let me do your meditation. He didn't say it, but if meditation is your prayer or whatever you do,
Yeah.
yeah,
How
yeah.
about American people? You've lived with a lot of Americans too, and you've traveled here.
American people have to find the inner. They're really meditation. They have to take meditation and adopt meditation, a real meditation, not social meditation. They really have to find the inner.
Mm.
America is sometimes feel to me. I was living there for 5 years. I didn't choose America. I chose India. Okay, there was a reason for that. Life there many times it's on the surface, and I looked for something deeper. So if American choose to meditate and really investigate on the inner world, it will be very good for them. Yeah.
You have any opinions about South America?
South America, I really love them. They're happy people, very energetic. They have libido. They have life energy.
Yeah, that's what I find too. Yeah.
They're very smiley, good people, heartful. I really enjoy them. Yeah.
The libido is what I find like very roaring with energy, life energy.
Yeah.
Wow, Europe.
In Europe is many countries. It
Yeah,
depends.
yeah, I know.
You're talking about south or north.
Yeah, Germans we kind of know quite a bit. Italians, how about Italians?
They're juicy people. But well, Osho told them enough. He told them for them they have to learn meditation.
Yeah.
But they're very lovely people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was just like a fun little thing we do. I thought we should do at the end of the show. Thank you so much, Sambhavya, for coming on this show and also sending me the books to read.
I just had it on Amazon, but I heard that it's gonna take another 3 days till they approve everything. So just wait a little bit. And I got an advice to keep it in a low price at the beginning. So let's say in the first months, people can buy both books, also digital and also printed,
Yeah.
on demand.
Yeah.
So as alike. And the book is full of beautiful photos from all the time, from the beginning, from my childhood till now. The whole journey is there.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm going to end the show, but you can stay
Thank
on.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Rada, for doing this kind of work.
thank
It's
you.
so nice,
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's very enriching for me too. But
Yeah.
do stay on. Once I end the recording, I get to say a goodbye to you.
Okay, then namaste.
Namaste.
Focus on the process, not the praise. Not the likes, not the wins, not the race. Don't stress what I can't control. I train my habits, I train my soul. And no shortcuts, no emotional mess. I trust the work, I do my best. The future's built by how I show it. I focus on the process again. Today. When fear talks loud about the end, I bring my focus back to the present. This rep, this breath, this choice right now. That's where power lives, not somehow. Dreams collapse when people wait. The process moves when you act with faith. I don't need guarantees to proceed. I just need discipline to repeat. Focus on the process, that's the key. Not who I'll be, but who I choose to be.